Number 6 on the average value worksheet. Find the numbers B, find the numbers, plural, so maybe there's more than one, such that the average value of 2 plus 6x minus 3x squared on the interval 0 to b is equal to 3. Okay, so average value, 1 over b minus a, from a to b. That's just the general average value equation, how to find the average value. So we know for this problem the average value is 3. Let's see, from 0 to b, so that means 1 over b from 0 to b of 2 plus 6x minus 3x squared dx. So that is definitely a unique question they ask. But once we get it set up, we can take this integral, plug in b, divide by b, and see what happens. So let's see, the integral of 2 is 2x. The integral of 6x would be 3x squared. And the integral of 3x squared was x cubed. And we want to evaluate that from 0 to b. So if I plug in b, I get 2b plus 3b squared minus b cubed. If I plug in 0, I just get all zeros. So I'm not going to write all those out. And if I divide through by b, I get 2 plus 3b minus b squared. And so now I've got a quadratic. So I think I will move everything to the left to make b squared positive. B squared minus 3b minus 1 equals 0. I don't like that. Why don't I like that? I can't factor it. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root. I'm also curious that I do this right, so I'm going to go back and check real quick. Make sure. 2 plus 6x minus 3x squared. So 2x plus 3x squared minus x cubed. Plug in b. Divide by b. I think I've done everything right. So back to the x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I don't know that I've got to sing that song this year in this class. Let's see, 9 plus 4 is 13 all over 2. And the original, it said from 0 to b. That suggests that b has to be bigger than 0. 3 minus root 13 would be negative. So my only answer is going to be 3 plus square root of 13 all over 2. The fact that no one asked that earlier today makes me think that no one had tried that one earlier today. Because that is quite the problem. Although most of it was algebra. Right, the first few steps were calculus, and then it was algebra after that. What else? What else on that worksheet? Did we do 10 yesterday, or enough of 10 to? We finished. Okay. That's right, because if we didn't divide by 30, it was like 2,000 degrees. Number 8. Let's do number 8. As soon as I find the copy where number 8 isn't done already. Number 8. The velocity of an accelerating car is shown on the right. Estimate So we're not going to have an exact answer. So that means if we're approximating, that's okay. Estimate the average velocity of the car during the first 12 seconds. Well, average velocity, 1 over 12 minus 0, integral from 0 to 12 of the velocity. So we're not going to just like add up the velocity and divide by 12 because there's 12 velocities. That's not how it works. How can I evaluate this? On the last problem, we were able to take an antiderivative. Here, I don't have an equation, so I can't antiderivative that. What can I do to figure out what that's equal to? Even maybe approximately equal to. I use the picture, and then what about the picture will I use? I'll use the area from 0 to 12. So I don't know what that area is. If we wanted to be real precise, we could do a bunch of triangles and trapezoids. If we wanted to be less precise, we could do one triangle and say, it said estimate, so you didn't specify exactly how you wanted me to do that, so we'll just go one big triangle and call that our estimate. It didn't say how to estimate it. Like on that last test, there was a problem similar to this with the 1 over 20 out front. And it specified use a left Riemann sum to estimate this. But this one didn't even say that. This said just estimate it. So 12 times 70 over 2. This kind of works out well because of the 1/12 out front. 12 times 70 over 2 is the area. And the 12s cancel out. So that's kind of nice. So we get 35. Which I guess makes sense, because if we're saying this thing goes from 0 to 70 in a linear fashion, then the average would be 35. So we're saying 35. That's not exactly right, but we didn't need to be exactly right. There's our average velocity. So 35, and then whatever units we're in, kilometers per hour. Part B. At what time was the instantaneous velocity equal to the average velocity? That's an MVT question. And it didn't really say that, but it's an MVT question because MVT guarantees that the answer will be between 0 and 12. So it looks like the actual velocity crosses 35 at about 4 seconds. That's between 0 and 12, as MVT guarantees it should be, or will be. Alright, let's stop there. You can look at the other videos if you want to see more of them, or more of the answers.